Hello everyone, and welcome to the third race of the 2011 Formula 1 season in our career mode. We're here for the Shanghai Grand Prix, the Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai. We're coming off the back of our first win of the season in Malaysia. Unfortunately, China is an awful track. I seem to remember in an F1 2010 season, it didn't go well. So, we'll be looking to improve this time around, but, as I said last season, I do hate China, so here we go.
Okay, even though you're part of a team, we both know you'll want to be outperforming your teammates in both qualifying and in races. He's got the same car, so it's pretty much an even fight in terms of machinery. Here you can keep an eye on your performance in relation to his. If you're beating your teammate partway through the season, you're on your way to becoming or cementing the role of #1 driver. As the team's #1, you'll get upgrades before your teammate, and you'll be able to define the team's upgrade path. Essentially, the team will build the car around your needs.
Alright, so I've just been introduced to the teammate challenge. So far we're beating Adrian Sutil, and we'll be looking to continue that throughout the season, and apparently we're going to be doing some R&D throughout this practice session as well. So coming on to the first, well, immediately we go so far wide, it's actually ridiculous. So I actually went and checked my assists to see if I had anti-lock brakes on. I did, so I don't understand how I locked up there. Maybe it's because I got some grass on my tyres, which always lowers the grip that you have to race with. But you'll see as the weekend goes on, that becomes kind of my bogey corner. But here we are going into turn 1. We've also gone wide again. You can see the grass on my tyres. And I'm just sliding around here, there, and everywhere, trying to just find some grip. This is our first R&D lap. But the R&D laps give you so much time to get around. It's ridiculous. So we should still be able to do it, and we did. And here we are on our 4th practice lap. Now we've got the option tyres on. We've got a bit of traffic in the form of Michael Schumacher and Sergio Perez. But we get around Perez quite nicely. And we ended the practice session in 14th place, which isn't too bad. Hopefully we'll be looking to improve in qualifying. Qualifying doesn't tend to be too difficult at the moment, so you know, the quality of the driving almost goes down by the AI in qualifying, and Crofty's asking us questions.
How much of a difference has that heavier load made to the way the car handles? Tell me,
It's heavier.
what are your hopes and aspirations for the current season? And do you have any personal objectives that you want to achieve?
Just do as well as I can, I guess, and beat the other teams around us. I'm going to go with that one. So, yeah, into qualifying. Hopefully we'll be able to do better there. As I say, the AI seem to be slower in qualifying than they are in practice in the race. And oh, no. No. Oh, don't give me that. Look at those puddles on the start-finish straight. It is raining so heavily. Oh, that's bad news. That is very bad news, because I do not like the rain. And as you can see here, coming through turn 1 on our first qualifying lap, and we're just sliding all over the place. We've actually gone wide now coming into turn 2. Oh, God, well, there's just so little grip to be dealing with. To be driving with. It's really difficult just to keep your car on the circuits. But if I can come up with a nice groove, hopefully I'll be able to keep it on the circuit as we come into Sector 2 there. And our first lap is a 147.6. So we're going to see how that fares compared to some of the other people. We've beaten Karthikeyan. Sutil, our teammate, has actually pipped us up to the top there with a 147.4. So I'm not actually that far off. If I can get a better lap in, I should be able to jump ahead of my teammate again. But as you can see here on the second lap, coming through Sector 2, we've spun out, and our teammate's actually coming around that corner, so we need to get out of his way. Which we did nicely. A penalty?
Looks like we've been awarded a 10th-place grid penalty.
We've been awarded a 10-place grid drop for dangerous driving. I was just trying to get out of the way. That is a bullshit penalty, that is. I was just trying to get out of the way of my teammate who was on a lap. And we've been given a 10-place grid penalty for dangerous driving. That's a ridiculous penalty. I was getting out of the way. So now our best case scenario is 11th, and as we finish our 3rd lap, we go 3rd, and we end up in 7th, which wouldn't have been too bad on its own, but we're actually going to start 17th, aren't we? So, well, nothing much we could do now. Let's head into the race.
After your points finish last race, let's keep the momentum going.
Oh, that 10th place grid drop is really gutting, but we're just going to have to try and make it up as best we can here. 5 lights and off we go. So, starting from P17, we're going to use some curves now to try and get past Sergio Perez on the run to turn 1. Maybe even get Sebastian Buemi as well, if we can. We've actually run a little bit wide, gone a bit caught on the grass, and again there. But we still have 17th place. We maintain position. We can go around the outside of Perez and up the inside of Buemi as it tends to the inside for turn 2. The pack is going very slowly right now. You just can't click on the accelerator, otherwise I'll go careering into the back of Kobayashi. But we're off now. I'm to P15, checking the inside to make sure there's no one there, so I can try and make a move up the inside maybe. Yes, on Kabuya Kobayashi, maybe even Nick Heidfeld as well. Not quite there. Kobayashi, though, has been dealt with. Petrov now is slow off the exit, and I'm able to get around his outside coming into this corner here. I'm going to leave him the space up the inside, but it looks like I have managed to get that position as it turns to the inside here. And no! He's gone right round the back, right back round the outside there. That is brilliant defensive work from Vitaly Petrov there, and he maintains 13th position. Really good driving from the AI there. If there's one thing I like about the AI on F1 2011, if there's one thing I like about F1 2011, it's the AI a lot of the time, because they are very, very racy. They do not give up their positions that easily if they can help it, as you just saw there with Vitaly Petrov. So we're going to use the remaining half bar of curves that we had on this straight. We're going to try and catch up to Petrov coming into this very tight hairpin at the end of this straight here. We're going to see if we can get anyone with an absolute dive bomb. We try, we tag the back of Heidfeld a little bit, but in the end, no harm done. We actually managed to get Petrov there on the exit of the hairpin, and finally we do take position 13. Next up is Jaime Al-Jaswari. We've gained 4 positions in this first lap, and we're not looking to stop there. I have got the medium tyres on as well, which will make my tyres just a little bit more durable compared to the soft tyres that the AI are doing. A little bit of an aggressive move up the inside of Al-Jaswari there, but a little bit of contact, but nothing really happens. So I go wide on that corner again. Al-Jaswari is able to hold the place nice and easily, which I think is fair, to be honest. There was a little bit of a dive bomb in here. What I didn't mean to do was go wide there and let Vitaly Petrov back through. Once again, he has taken position 13. I'm back down in 14th again. And this lap has not been very good, really. All I've done really is lose a position. But there's a massive cluster of cars here into the hairpin at China. And, well, we took penalty again. What?
Drive-through penalty for unsportsmanlike behaviour. There's nothing we can do about it now. Stay focused and pit in the next 3 laps.
Unsportsmanlike behaviour. I don't even know who I hit. I think it might have been Perez on my inside, but I had that corner. That wasn't my fault. I have absolutely no idea who I hit there, and, you know, I've been given 2 pretty damn rubbish penalties, and now Perez is going back up my inside. I've been saying it's not going to be my day, is it? It's just not my weekend here at China. I keep losing positions, keep leaking positions, keep getting unjustified penalties, and I've just absolutely dive-bombed about 3 cars. And look, you might say in the comments that was an over-aggressive move, but it was born out of frustration at rubbish penalties, frustration at leaking positions. So I did go for that bit of a dive bomb. I don't think anyone really conceded damage anyway. So next up is our teammate, Adrian Sutil. He's turned into us there as well. I had the inside for that corner, and he just turned in on us. You know, this is such a frustrating race that we're really struggling here at the moment. But we're going to use the remaining half bar of curves we have. We're going to sit in the slipstream of Sutil, and by slipstream, there is no slipstream really on this game. And we're going to see if we can go up the inside. Going to squeeze him out to the wide part of the corner if we can, and we do take him into 11th place. We are 1 place off points positions, but don't forget we still have a drive-through penalty to serve for that causing a collision incident we had, which is rubbish. And here we go, coming to serve our drive-through penalty. Pastor Maldonado is coming in as well. I don't know if he has a penalty. It wouldn't surprise me. It is Maldonado. But it might be just a pit stop. We'll see now. I think I see a pit crew in the distance, so I think he's actually coming in for an early pit stop. Maybe trying to get the undercut on the people ahead of him. Nick Heidfeld, that's the fastest lap with an exact 1:37, which is very satisfying to look at. So we're down in P16, we're miles behind Barrichello, and now it's just about trying to catch up as best we can and seeing if we can claw back any pride. I don't think points are on the table anymore, and coming towards the end of lap 6 now, you can actually see it's starting to rain a bit. You can see there is rain here. Some people have come into the pits for a new set of dry tyres, but it is starting to rain. And I'm just wondering if it's worth staying out as a strategy call until it gets a little bit wetter and then going straight from mediums to intermediate tyres. Meaning I'll be on a 1-stop, everyone else doing a 2-stop, and maybe that's the way to go. So I'm now going to see if I can stretch out these tyres until the rain really picks up and it's wet enough for the intermediates. At the moment we're up in position 8, so we have got track position over a lot of cars, although everyone will have fresh tyres. Here comes Lewis Hamilton behind me on the DRS straight. I've got no answer to his straight line speed, however I might have an answer in this braking zone. We're going to see if I can hold it up the inside, and I do that very nicely, actually, very nicely held position there at the end of lap 7. So yeah, we're going to see how long we can stay out for. Lewis Hamilton won't be staying far behind me for very long, I don't think. It's a DRS straight here as well. He'll probably be looking to catch up me. He's only half a second behind, and I've gone a little bit wide. He's been given an opportunity to go up the inside. I leave him the space. He doesn't take it, so I hold on to the position for now. You can see my tyres are actually starting not only to go off, but they are also starting to kick up a bit of spray as Lewis Hamilton does take me up the inside there for position 5. Am I going to take him back now going into sector 2? I am. This is a great squabble I'm having here with Lewis Hamilton, and I think really it's slowing me down overall, and I go a bit wide on my dead tyres in the spray of the rain, and I think now we're just going to have to let both Hamilton and Alonso go. Let's be honest, we're not racing them. We're racing just to try and stay in the points, and next up to overtake me, I think, is Jenson Button. He'll be looking to get past me ASAP indeed before. But no, it's Michael Schumacher. He's actually taken Button on the last corner and actually is now having a go at me in his Mercedes. And whoa! Schumacher, you can't just cut across me in front of that and then brake. That was a brake check there by Michael Schumacher, which is a bit unfair. Now Button's going to look to get him back round the outside going into this final corner of the lap, and I think Button has indeed managed to get him back. My tyres are absolutely dead at this point. Really struggling for grip now as Vettel sets the fastest lap of the race, which is 4 seconds faster than my last lap. So yeah, we'll have to forget about any of those guys as I go wide again, and there's a little bit of contact with Jenson there as I really get the spin. I'm just spinning the wheels out on the exits of every single corner. Button and Schumacher still having a ding-dong. I'm just sat in front of them, and it's a 3-way squabble here for position 7. And I don't think I'm going to be able to hold on for much longer as we come here through sector 2. Again, I go wide on this corner. It really is my bogey corner, and Jenson Button takes me, and I think that's the end of that as Michael Schumacher looks to go around my outside into this corner. I hold on to position 8 just for this corner, but I really think that coming onto the next straight, it's not going to last for very long as I select the intermediate tyres then, which suggests I might come in at the end of this lap. You can see the mediums are kicking up a little bit of spray coming through some of these corners. It is getting wetter and wetter out there, so surely the crossover point must be coming up quite soon as Schumacher opens his DRS, which is still allowed at the moment, and he does actually hold his line this time, that defensive line going into the hairpin. Again, the AI brake early. They do brake a little bit early for this corner, and I'm able to outbrake him and maintain position 8. Once again, he's losing a lot of time to Jenson now in this battle, and I think he's going to have to really work hard if he wants to catch Button again and have to go at overtaking him. I don't come into the pits at the end of lap 9. I'm going to go on for one more lap. We're going to see if that's a good decision coming into turn 1. Now, we've watched an entire lap and a bit here. This is a really long clip I've edited in here as I spin out on turn 1, and maybe I should have come in at the end of lap 9. It looks like my tyres have officially hit the cliff now, and well, now it's about nursing these tyres around back to the pits, and I do that quite nicely as I do a bit of a Hamilton there, end up on the gravel trap coming into the pits, and we're going to switch it down to lean just to save a bit of fuel, and onto intermediate tyres now It's worth a gamble. I'm not in the points. I'm way down the order. I've got absolutely nothing to lose. If it doesn't work, I end up P17, P18, wherever. If it does work, I might end up in the points. I think taking this gamble, I think is my only chance, really, of getting back into the points. So we're going to see if it's wet enough for the intermediates and see if they give me any grip advantage over the AI. So yeah, Rubens Barrichello is about 10 seconds up the road, I think. We're going to be looking to claw that back in. Maldonado has actually come in for a second pit stop now. So I do get promoted to P16, which means Barrichello is still the target. Maldonado's actually put on dry option tyres in this weather. Surely that's got to be the wrong decision here on lap 13. You can see the spray that my intermediates are kicking up. Surely I'm going to have the advantage in this weather if Maldonado's put on the option dry tyres. But as you can see, coming on to lap 14 now, it's about nearly 2 laps later. And if we look behind us now, Maldonado is actually right there. Somehow, in this very, very wet weather at this point, Maldonado has caught up to us on his option tyres. I don't know how he's managed that. I'd have thought my intermediates surely would have the advantage as I go a little bit wide at this hairpin, something I made a habit of in F1 2010. Not so much this year, but yeah, Maldonado is really looking to overtake me here as I go a little bit wide on the final corner as well. My intermediate tyres, the problem is they're actually going a little bit, they're very worn at this point. So even though the weather's starting to suit the tyres, the wear on the tyres means that they have no grip anyway. It doesn't look really like this gamble is going to pay off. I've got 3 laps remaining to do. And it just looks like I'm going to have to miss out on points today. It's been a fairly abysmal weekend with penalties, with the drive-through, with everything really. Nothing's really gone our way. And it looks like this Chinese Grand Prix, as I expected really, just due to the track and how much I hated it. This Chinese Grand Prix is a bit of a write-off. Coming on to lap 16 now, in position 16 still. No one's still come in for the intermediate tyres, and my intermediate tyres are really starting to go off the cliff now. Anytime I put the hammer down, going around this corner, look, it just wants to slide out. And the back end does not want to behave itself as we come round here towards the end of Sector 2. Later on in the lap, we get a little bit up on the curb, and that is race over. That is race absolutely over. Maldonado takes the position off me. I'm down in P17, but if you look at the mini-map in the bottom left, you can see that people are coming into the pits. People going on to the final lap of the race, lap 17, are actually coming into the pits for their intermediate tyres. So it turns out that the crossover point, according to the AI, as I slide out on this corner as well, was the final lap. So you can see there's a lot of people just at the hairpin. So you never know, maybe there is a chance still that I could get into the points if I can just emerge in front of loads of people. Here we go, coming past the pit lane, we gain 4 positions into position 13. Kobayashi is just in front of us there in P12, but looking at the mini-map, 11th and 10th place are so far up the road. So so this strategy has actually worked out a little bit. I've gained 4 places as to where I was originally going to finish, as long as I, of course, keep it on the track. But as far as points go, it looks like that's not going to happen. I've just got to nurse this car to the line. And here we go, coming around the final corner, Felipe Massa wins the race, and I cross the line in position 13. As you can see, I still gained 4 positions, and we beat Adrian Sutil. We still, out of absolutely nowhere, managed to beat our teammate after possibly the worst race, one of the worst races of my entire career mode so far, spanning the 2 games. So, no, that's actually a good result in terms of the teammate challenge, but not in terms of the Drivers' Championship. As you can see, Massa wins the race from Vettel and Hamilton. Alonso and Rosberg round out the top 5. So, Button had a bit of a stinker, didn't he, as did Mark Webber. Heidfeld did really well, actually, to get his Lotus Renault up in 7th place. And the bottom half of the field is pretty much as you'd expect. So, yeah, that was the Chinese Grand Prix. our 25 points from the race win in Malaysia is still the only points we have. So we sit in 6th place. Mark Webber and Lewis Hamilton co-leading the championship at the moment. Massa hot on their heels. And then there's a bit of a gap down to Alonso, Vettel, and myself. So, yeah, as far as the constructors go, Ferrari and Red Bull really close together, followed by McLaren, and then a massive gap down to Mercedes and Force India. Lotus Renault rounding out the teams with any points at all. And yeah, that has been the Chinese Grand Prix. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to see how this career mode pans out. We'll be going over, we started on 2010, we'll be going 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and beyond. So, yeah, thanks for watching. If you're new, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.